Attention please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Even though it's the Yankees and the Red Sox, the story is still Alex Rodriguez as the countdown continues towards his final game at Yankee Stadium on Friday. Not in the lineup tonight, but he took ground balls at third, took BP, so you never know. It is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball tonight. It's the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox in the first of three from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with John Flaherty and Ken Singleton. I'm Michael K. Yankees and the Red Sox, and this is a big series because the Red Sox are one of the teams in front of the Yankees if the Yankees really have any intention of trying to get a wild card. So let's take a look at the pitching matchup in this one, brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. See what know-how can do for you. Rick Porcello's having a good year, 14-3 with a 3.46. And then there's Luis Severino. Luis Severino, outstanding performance out of the bullpen last time, Kenny, and that forced his way into the rotation.
Well, since he's come back from the minor leagues, he's made 3 appearances out of the bullpen, and he has been outstanding. In those 3 appearances, he has faced 29 hitters. He's retired 25 of them. He still has that smoking fastball. His slider is really improved, and the Yankees are pumped up about it.
Well, one of the people he has to take care of, obviously, is David Ortiz. Now, he's been a little cold of late, but overall, what a season. 309, 25 home runs, 87 ribbies. By the last 10 games, he's 4 for 34. But you throw those numbers away, John, because against the Yankees, they just can't get him out.
They can't get him out. It seems like it's been going on forever, Michael. David Ortiz in his last year having a big year all around, but even a bigger year against the Yankees. And you look at the numbers through his career against the New York Yankees. They played 9 times this year. This guy has 5 home runs, just wears out New York Yankee pitching. He's been doing it a long time. The Yankees will get another look at him later on up at Fenway Park in September, trying to slow him down this series.
Well, it does fall to Luis Severino. At least he's getting the start. We are going to hear from Luis Severino and Meredith Marakovitz. When we get back, we inch closer to baseball right here on Yes.
Yankees baseball on Yes. I'm Meredith Morakovitz. Luis Severino gets the start this evening. He is back in the rotation after a stint in the bullpen where he pitched quite well. He did not allow an earned run over 8 1/3. I caught up with Severino the other day, who told me he's hoping to draw off of that experience in the bullpen.
I've been learning a lot, I have for a tough situation, they sent me down to work on my patience, but over there I work good, and the bullpen helped me a lot, helped me to be ready to any situation.
I definitely see improvement, and we want to continue to see him go in the right direction, continue to make those improvements, continue to locate his fastball better, and for his changeup to improve, and to continue to throw that good slider. But there's substantially a difference between when he left us and where he is now.
Alex Rodriguez is not in the lineup, but both Yankees and Red Sox fans alike are hoping they get to see him in the batter's box at some point in time tonight. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Michael Kay will be joined by John Flaherty and Ken Singleton after the break.
Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Buick. Experience the new Buick for yourself at Buick.com. By the New York Lottery. Take a break from the expected. Play scratch-off games from the New York Lottery. And by Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Just a beautiful day here in Boston. Big crowd expected here at Fenway Park. The usual sellout. Yankees against the Red Sox. First of a 3-game set. Red Sox have taken the field, so why don't we take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. In left field, Brett Gardner leads off, batting second and playing center field. It's Jacoby Ellsbury. Mark Teixeira is at first base, hitting third. The DH, Brian McCann, will clean up. Batting fifth, playing second base, Starlin Castro. Didi Gregorius, the shortstop, bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing third base, Chase Headley. Gary Sanchez will catch. He'll bat eighth, and batting ninth and playing right field, it's Aaron Hicks.
Starting pitcher tonight for the Boston Red Sox is Rick Porcello, 27-year-old from New Jersey. He's having a career year. The numbers would suggest that. Look at that record, 14-3, just sparkling, 119 strikeouts and 143 innings. Good sinker ball pitcher. Let's check out the scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. He steps on the mound tonight with 99 career wins. Chance for number 100 tonight against the Yankees. They hope to postpone that at least one more start. A perfect 10 this year at Fenway Park. 10 decisions here at Fenway Park this year. He has won them all. And look out. Porcello's hit the most batters in the league this year. He's hit 11 batters.
All right, we are ready. Should be a fun series. A-Rod is, according to Joe Girardi, going to be in Thursday's starting lineup against the knuckleballer Stephen Wright. And we'll see if he comes into either of the first 2 games later on. He was taking ground balls at third today as well. But Joe Girardi, who had said on Sunday if A-Rod wanted to play, he would play every day, decided not to do that, said he misspoke. He was caught up in the emotion. Brett Gardner is ready. Rick Porcello is ready. And let's do it. Here in Boston, first pitch is a strike, and we're underway. Todd Titchener, the home plate umpire. Brian Knight at first. Tony Randazzo at second. And Bill Miller is over at third. Gardner 5 for 17 on the Yankees' 5-game homestand. Takes a pitch outside.
Well, one thing Porcello has done this year, he hadn't walked many, less than 2 per game. He's among the best control pitchers in the American League.
Kenny, you were talking that it's been a career year. He's had that combination going. He's not walking many. He's pitching well, and he gets a ton of run support. This Red Sox lineup. Because of that, the numbers are outstanding. 14-3.
How about the salt stains on Rick Porcello's hat? So he probably feels that's a lucky cap. They could give him a new one if he wanted.
I don't think he's trading that one in anytime soon.
Fouled away.
Yeah, when you haven't lost in a certain ballpark, look at it. It looks like he's been out there all afternoon. I guarantee you that goes back to opening day. He's had 10 wins here and 1 no decision. So 10 for 10 in his decisions this year here at Fenway Park.
And the 1 no decision the Red Sox won, so they're 11-0 in his Fenway starts.
You remember Rick Porcello back with the Detroit Tigers as a younger man, had that power sinker. Velocity not quite what it used to be, but still has a nice little movement away from the lefties, in on the righties. Curveball, a changeup, and a slider.
(3-2). There's a base hit to right field. Gardner starts off the game with a single. Let's check out the Red Sox defense, and it's presented by Geico. You've got Benintendi, Andrew Benintendi, one of their top prospects. This is his Fenway debut. He got called up during the road trip. Jackie Bradley Jr. at center. Mookie Betts over and right. Infield, Shaw, Holt, Pedroia, and Ramirez third and first. Leon behind the plate, and Porcello is on the mound. Jacoby Ellsbury, the former Boston center fielder, gets booed as he comes up to the plate.
Had a good homestand, though. I guarantee one of the Yankee fan bowling. He was 8 for 20 on the homestand. Now here's one of the guys that you wouldn't categorize Ellsbury as a home run hitter, but he's hit 4 off of Porcello in his career.
Fly ball, left field. Benintendi goes toward the wall, but it just makes the seats.
Benintendi gets his first look at Fenway Park, and you're going to find out down their left field line there's not a whole lot of room.
Just called up and out of the University of Arkansas. Yeah, there's not much room.
You got to deal with that corner. You got to deal with the green monster. You don't see that in Double-A, Kenny.
And that little doorway there too that goes. I don't know where it goes. I've never been through that door.
I've walked down there. All the grounds crew equipment.
Miss low.
Is that where it is, Flash?
You know what? That's where you would, during batting practice, when you want to get inside a little bit quicker, Kenny, you sneak right in that door. Nobody knows where you are.
Having not been a home player here, I had no idea where that. I thought it was the door to nowhere.
Now, since that time, they have certainly found other nooks and crannies to have different rooms here at Fenway as they try to modernize a 1912 ballpark. But in the 1986 World Series, Mets and the Red Sox, you have to go down the left field line and make the left through that door, and that's where they held the press conferences too. Amidst all the groundskeeper stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
One thing when you're facing a sinker ball pitcher here and you're a left-handed hitter.
Strike 3. Ellsbury done looking.
I always felt if they get it out over the plate, just go the other way and tattoo that wall. Wade Boggs made a good living doing that.
Another look at the fastball, and that sinking fastball that comes back. It doesn't really sink that much. It just tails back to the inside corner. Right at Ellsbury's front hip.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Gets the fastball by him.
You know what, Kenny, you talk about the left-handers being able to go the other way off of that green monster, and I would always feel like I called the game a little bit different here against the Red Sox lineup than you would at Yankee Stadium. Obviously, all this room out of right field, a lot tougher to go deep than it is at Yankee Stadium. Those lefties away from extending their arms.
It's almost the exact opposite. I mean, you want them to hit some fly balls right here.
You think about a lot of great Red Sox hitters through the years. Mo Vaughn became an MVP, being able to use that green monster and drive the ball the other way.
We mentioned Wade Boggs, Carl Yastrzemski.
Popped up, shallow left. Benintendi makes the play. 2 away. Let's look at the game time weather, which is presented by Bigelow Tea. It's 75 degrees, humidity 66%, wind 17 miles per hour. It is indeed a great night for baseball.
Better enjoy this night because it's supposed to get a lot hotter here the next 2 nights.
There's Brian McCann. There's a strike. Runner goes. Foul back. 0-2. Gardner got a good jump.
Looking for stolen base number 14 on it. He's only been caught twice.
Hard to imagine, though. 13 stolen bases. We're in the month of August for Brett Gardner. He's just shut down that running game.
Swing and a miss. McCann down on strikes. No runs to hit, no errors, and 1 man left. It's the Yankees nothing and the Boston Red Sox coming to bat. top of the first. Now it's time for the Red Sox against Luis Severino, and this is the order in which they'll come up. Right fielder Mookie Betts leads off, batting second and playing second. Dustin Pedroia. The DH is David Ortiz against the Yankees. In 9 games this year, 5 home runs. Hanley Ramirez at first base will clean up. Batting fifth, playing center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. Travis Shaw at third base, bats sixth. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Brock Holt. Sandy Leon, the catcher, is going to bat eighth, and batting ninth, the left fielder, former first-round draft pick, Andrew Benintendi.
There's Severino, just 22 years old. Luis Severino on the mound for the Yankees. He worked very well out of the bullpen, as we said. You can see his record on the year, 1-6. That's in a starting role, where he picked up his only win out of the bullpen. And you can see his ERA 6.02. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Well, one thing we've seen since he's come back from the minors, an improved slider, more depth, kind of drops out of the strike zone a little bit better. The Red Sox are a true test for Severino tonight. The Red Sox have scored more runs than any team in the major leagues. Our right-handed batters have hit .296 against them. If that slider is improved, that number will go down.
Mookie Betts will start it off as Severino deals a strike. Well, the Yankees had that open spot in the rotation when they traded Ivan Nova, and they gave it to Chad Green. And Chad Green did not pitch well in 4 innings of work. Out of the bullpen came Luis Severino, and he convinced the Yankees on the guy who should be in the rotation because he did make the improvements he needed. Count 1-2.
Well, you give Severino credit. I mean, he went down to AAA, kept his mouth shut, worked hard, threw the ball well. And then since he's been back in the big leagues, the 3 relief appearances, not only has the stuff, in my opinion, gotten better. Kenny, you talked about the slider. His whole body language, showing a little motion, being more aggressive. I love it.
One thing he's done, Flash, and I see if you agree with me, that slider is started in the zone and dropped out. It gets hitters to commit. More or less when we see Michael Pineda's slider working well, that's the way Severino's has been.
Fly ball. Shallow right, coming on is Hicks, and he makes the play. Let's check out the Yankees defense, which is presented by Geico. We'll start with Hicks in right. You just saw him. In center, it's Ellsbury, and left, it's Gardner. Go the other way in the infield. Headley, Gregorius, Castro, and Teixeira. Gary Sanchez is behind the plate. He caught Severino down in AAA, and Luis Severino is on the mound. Here's Dustin Pedroia. He swings at the first pitch and hits it to right center. Hicks will make the play, and they avoid colliding into each other, Hicks and Ellsbury. But boy, Pedroia gave that a ride.
There's an example of deep right field here. Hicks yelling that he's got it, and he's going to avoid Ellsbury. And Hicks had the better shot. He kind of looked en route to see where Ellsbury was. Then he called for it and makes the catch. Right fielders have to cover an awful lot of ground here at Fenway Park. You need a right fielder who has the ability to play center field if needed, cover that type of ground, and Hicks can do that. He plays all 3 outfield positions, and Pedroia gets his feelings hurt, although he hit that one pretty well.
David Ortiz takes a strike. He was 4 for 30 on this just completed road trip. Still having a tremendous final year. Announced before the season that he would retire at the end of this campaign. And still holds firm to that, although he's putting together one of the best years he's ever had.
And certainly one of the best years that a 40-year-old player's ever had.
309, 25, and 87. That's the conventional numbers. 397 on base percentage. Slugging 617. OPS 1.014. Look at the numbers against Severino. 3 for 5 with 3 home runs.
He's got the most ever doubles by a player 40 years old or 40 years old. Let's just put it that way. He's 36 two-base hits. Here at Fenway Park, a lot of them come to left center field.
Grounded into short right field, charging Castro. Flips to Teixeira, and Severino works a 1-2-3 inning against the Red Sox. One in the books. We'll go to the second. 0-0 on yes. Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. What do you think of Tim Tebow announcing his pursuit of a career in professional baseball? Hitting Mode said if he thinks he can do it, good for him. Hope he can prove the doubters wrong and get to the majors. Follow Yes Network. Tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees RAV4 Hybrid. Keep the conversation going. Hasn't played since junior year in high school, and he's 29 years old.
I thought it was a joke when I heard about it. I saw the video on Twitter.
Right.
There is some bat speed there. I was impressed.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be kind of like that Michael Jordan. You know, not a whole lot of bat speed through the zone. He looked pretty good.
Okay. Is he a baseball player?
He's a football player. He's not playing football anymore.
That one is ripped to center field. And that's going to be over the head of Bradley. He'll play it off the wall. Going for two is Castro, and he is there with a double.
Well, Jackie Bradley knows this ballpark and certainly center field very well, and he got that ball in quickly. Castro had to really turn it on to get to second, and he looks like he's injured out there at second base. Ball comes off the wall. Bradley Jr. plays it well, barehands it, throws it in. He's got a strong arm. Castro just there ahead of Pedroia's tag. Jackie Bradley Jr., one of the better center fielders in the league. And Castro's at second, and he is limping around the bag at second base.
Joe Girardi comes out along with the athletic trainer Steve Donahue. Looks like the knee that he landed on obviously cut the uniform, so I don't know if he's just bruised and cut, but it looks like he's going to stay in the game.
Well, that was, first of all, it was a rope that he hit off the wall in center field. Second base umpire Tony Randazzo with the call.
So a leadoff double for Castro. And here's Gregorius.
I should say that was Bill Miller with the call. Randazzo was out in center field.
Grounded to third. Didi does not get the job done. You want to hit the ball to the right side to move the runner to third, so one away.
We'll have to keep an eye on Castro for this next little while here to see if he's able to stay in the game.
Here's Chase Headley. And a strike. Missed outside. One. High fly ball, left center. Bradley Jr. drifting back on the track. He's going to have to play it off the wall. And it caroms over his head. Scoring easily is Castro. It's an RBI double for Headley, and the Yankees lead 1-0.
Really good base running by Starlin Castro right there. A lot of times you're watching the ball instead of the center fielder. Castro watching Bradley go back. He goes halfway, gets a great read. The ball gets away from Bradley Jr. in center field. And Headley might have had an opportunity for a triple. Had a little trouble getting around second base. The Yankees doing a good job of driving the ball here. We talk about left-handed hitters using the green monster. Chase Headley drives this ball the other way, gets rewarded with a double and an RBI, and the Yankees are on the board.
You know, one thing Benintendi's going to have to get used to here, when the center fielder goes for the wall, you stay back for the carom.
Gary Sanchez takes a strike.
It's Castro, you're following the flight of the ball, then you look towards the center fielder, you see he's not going to be able to make the play, and that's when you're going to be able to score easily.
Sanchez takes low. Donahue was just checking out Castro. We'll see if he comes out and plays second base in the bottom of the inning. Grounded to third. 2 outs.
Ball that Headley hit, it just kept going and going and going. The wind is not much wind here tonight, but what there is actually blowing straight out. So the ball might got a little bit of a boost and got further up on the wall than Jackie Bradley Jr. thought it was going to get. And the Yankees picked up the run.
Aaron Hicks, high fly ball. Bradley puts it away, and that will do it. But the Yankees with a couple of doubles put a run on the board. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. Brought to you by Mohegan Sun. Unlimited possibilities await you at Mohegan Sun. Plan your trip at MoheganSun.com.
Yeah, there's manager John Farrell, and he has seen this Red Sox team. They are really an offensive type of ball club. 60 times 10. They've had 60 games this year in which they've had 10 or more hits. Really solid hitting ball club. 598 runs scored. That's tops in the major leagues. And Carl Yastrzemski and Ted Williams, both of them had 1,000 extra base hits with the Red Sox. Big Papi has 998. Trying to join them.
There's Hanley Ramirez. This Red Sox team has run into a little bit of a flat spot. First 54 games, they had a 32-22 record with a .296 team batting average. They scored 6 runs a game. Now in the last 56 games, they're just 28-28. 500 team. The team batting average has dropped 25 points to .271, and now they score 4.9 runs per game.
Well, the last 17, their games are 6-11, so they've been struggling. You find themselves 2.5 games out of first. Three-way race in the American League East.
Grounded to Gregorius. One away. Let's take a look at the Mazda standings. Orioles and the Blue Jays fighting for the top of the East, so the other one is the first wild card. And then the Red Sox, Tigers, Mariners 2.5, Astros 4, and the Yankees 4.5. Now the Red Sox are one of the teams that the Yankees have to jump, so this 3-game set is important because the Yankees keep talking about how they have a run and they have a chance at a wild card. And when you're just 4.5 games out, that number is certainly doable. It's the amount of teams that you jump over, and the Yankees have to jump over several teams, several of which they play.
And when you play them, you got to win series.
They're going to start a little run against the American League East. They have not done a good job against the American League East this year, so those numbers have to get better.
As I was looking at the those players with 1,000 extra base hits with one team, there's only one team in the major leagues that has 3 such players in their history.
And they are?
Oh, you're waiting for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was waiting for the pitch, Michael. It's the Giants with Mel Ott, Willie Mays, and Barry Bonds.
Here's the 2-2. 3-2 on Bradley.
It was a nice little tease, wasn't it? You were waiting, weren't you?
I think everybody shifted forward on their couch. Line down the left field line, and it's a fair ball inside the pole. Bradley will take the turn and stop right there as Gardner fielded it quickly and got it in. That just hit inside that yellow pole.
Yeah, a couple of things happened here. That ball was slicing foul. I don't think Jackie Bradley Jr. thought it was going to stay fair. Just hits the, just like it hit the pole. It's a fair ball, and he's going to end up with a single. Yeah, he should be running. Let's look at it more running. And he's going to end up with a single. Now, Gardner got it in quickly, but still, admiring his handiwork, it's not going to work.
Travis Shaw takes outside, 1-0. So the first hit of the game for the Red Sox. Yankees have the shift on for Travis Shaw. Didi's still on the left side of the infield, but almost behind second. And then you've got Headley about 45 feet from the line.
Kenny, you were talking about Severino's improved slider, and I'm watching him tonight. When he throws it away to righties, it's kind of that big one. Throws it away to lefties, he's kind of tightened it up. It's a little backdoor, almost like a hard cutter. So we're kind of seeing improvements with the strikeout pitch that you talked about, but also the get me over slider.
I think one of the keys to the lefty is that one that you start inside, they swing over the top. That was a good swing by Shaw. Shaw's working on a 4-game hitting streak. Only major leaguer this year who's had 3 games in which he's driven in 5 runs.
Popped up left side. Long run for Gardner, and he'll get there to make the play. Here's Joe Girardi talking about what Severino needs to do moving forward.
Just attack. Your stuff is really good. Just attack. And, you know, if he starts to go through a little tough inning or something, we need to remind him. Don't get away from what you do. Just remember. And it's about making pitches. And a lot of times pitchers are 1 or 2 pitches from being out of an inning. So I think it's him falling back on, I need to attack, and us just reminding him.
Well, so far so good, as he has a 1-0 lead. Game is held up because some fans just
Are they lost?
went into the green monster. Never to be seen again.
It's like Alice stepping through the looking glass, isn't it? There's something else going on down there.
Might be that door we were talking about. Brett Gardner was just pointing towards it.
A lot of sand there.
And that's where they used to have press conferences?
Well, in '86, so that was 30 years ago. He's moving quickly.
So you push the button, the door closes.
You guys ever been back there?
I have.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
Like players from a long time ago.
Well, you mean in the scoreboard?
Yeah, they've signed the concrete wall back there. It's really neat.
I've never been in there. I've been over it a few times.
This is a shot from the camera inside the wall. There's a strike.
Brock Holt getting the start at shortstop tonight. It's his 2nd start at shortstop. That's inside the scoreboard.
Guys, come in. You don't have to stand right there.
Xander Bogaerts getting the night off. He's been struggling lately, and John Farrell decided to give his young star shortstop the night off. He was 9 for 46 on a road trip.
And yesterday was a day off for the Red Sox, so he wanted to give him 2 days off in a row. Strike 3. Holt down looking. First strikeout for Severino. No runs a hit. No errors on 1 man left. We go to the 3rd. 1-0 Yanks. Coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Prince Fielder is expected to announce his retirement tomorrow. Had to undergo a second neck surgery. 12 Major League Baseball season, 6-time All-Star, won the Comeback Player of the Year last year, 3-time Silver Slugger, 50 home runs in 2007. How about this, though, guys? If this is indeed it for Prince Fielder, he finished with 319 home runs. The exact number that his father had. Wow. Brett Gardner will lead off.
All right, so Prince is announcing his retirement, but he's getting all of his money.
Yes, because he's retiring because of an injury.
So he's not just saying, I'm walking away because I'm hurt. Medically, he cannot play.
Right. Now, that contract was initially signed by the Tigers. Now, the question that has to be asked, and I've not read it anywhere yet, is that insured? So if it's insured, the Rangers are in good shape. They take all that salary, and it's a big salary for a lot more years off the books, and an insurance company pays most of it. But if it's not, that's a big blow. Fly ball, left center. Bradley's going to turn and play it off the big monster. And it's a double. Third double in 2 innings for the Yankees.
Again, we're seeing the left-handed hitters driving the ball the other way. Get a pitch out over the plate. Brett Gardner just stays on it. Not only will this help you driving the ball the other way, if you get something inside a little bit slower like a slider, you just react with your hands. So Fenway Park could be the right thing for some left-handed hitters. Maybe if you're struggling coming in, you get rewarded driving the ball off that green monster.
Yeah, there was an example of what I was talking about before. That sinker ball moving away from a lefty, just go with it the other way and put a charge into it, and that wall will help you every single time.
Here's Ellsbury, who struck out looking in the first inning. Fly ball left side. Benintendi on the run, puts it away. So he does not move the runner over as he pops up to left field.
The Yankees were able to get Castro in the second inning without doing a good job of situational hitting by Didi. Again, Ellsbury, first pitch swinging fly ball to left field, does not advance Gardner. See if Teixeira can come through with an RBI base hit or Brian McCann after.
One thing we've seen lately from Teixeira, he has been hitting the ball better to the opposite field, batting left-handed. Hit an opposite field home run right-handed at Yankee Stadium.
Time is called as Leon goes out and talks with Porcello. Yankees lead 1-0. Runner at second with 1 man out here in the third. .33 pitches, 23 strikes for Porcello. Way out in front. Porcello was born in Morristown, New Jersey, went to Seton Hall Prep. Drafted by the Tigers in 2007, first round, 27th pick. He's got baseball in his family history. Sam Dente was his grandfather, and he played for the Indians in the 1954 World Series. Broken bat, pop up. Shaw in foul territory makes the play, 2 down. There is Rick at Seton Hall Prep. Intense. Looks like he can hit too. And he had the sweat on the cap then. So that's his thing. wet through the ears. And a strike to McCann.
You know, players can be superstitious. I'm thinking, Flash, when you were on that long hitting streak, you kind of did everything the same way, didn't you?
I did. And you know what's weird that you bring that up? The night Al Leiter broke that hitting streak, I wore a new pair of spikes. Out of necessity, I blew the toe out on the right spike.
Flash, just tape it up.
I had to change it. I had to change it. It didn't work out.
Did you hear, were you watching the game, what your San Diego Padre manager Bruce Bochy said when he came in with the Giants? He said,
do I want to hear this?
He said, people make such a big deal out of DiMaggio hitting in 56 straight. He said Flaherty hitting 27 straight, that's a bigger deal.
Because I couldn't run at all, right? That's what he said?
No, he just kept it at that and smiled, but he said he liked you a lot.
That was awfully nice. That's a nice way to say it. Right? I could tell he liked me a lot by those words.
Well, he had to keep putting you in there. I mean, you had a hit streak going.
Well, you know what? I started out 0 for 10, didn't get a ball out of the infield, and Bruce Bochy kept running me out there, so I got to thank him for that.
Well, you know, the GM probably told him, keep this guy in there. You got to make me look good.
And you did?
Yeah.
Two. Popped up. And that's out of play in the seats.
There's no way you could have salvaged those shoes and worn them.
Kenny, I tried. I'm telling you, I was going to put tape around them. You know, that get like that shoe glue or whatever. They were beyond repair.
And you had worn them throughout the streak?
I had worn them throughout the entire streak. But when I caught, I had my toes kind of ducked in.
Right.
So it would wear out the toes on my cleats.
And Leiter seized upon that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it had nothing to do with his nasty cutter in on my hands. A couple of ground balls to the left side.
Good news on Bochy. He was hospitalized yesterday. That's not the good news with an irregular heartbeat, but he is back in the dugout tonight. That one's lined into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Gardner rounds third. He will score easily. Getting the ball in is Betts, and it's an RBI single for McCann, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Looked like a breaking ball kind of hung up there a bit. And McCann takes advantage of it. It kind of sat right there in the middle of the plate. I don't think he had the best of wood on it, but he got enough of it to get it into right center to give the Yankees a 2-0 lead.
There will be some pitches after a ball game that a catcher and a pitcher will think back, and Porcello was beating McCann with the fastball. Threw one by him his first at bat, was beating him a little bit. This at bat, a hanging curveball like you mentioned, Kenny, and McCann took advantage of it.
It's almost, to me, it's like a pitcher sometimes gets afraid to go to the well one time too often. And figuring that, well, maybe now he's got the fastball timed, I'll try and trick him. Then you don't make your best pitch and gets a base hit.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. Fly ball, right center, and Jackie Bradley Jr. drifts back to make the play. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Yanks. brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. Some big moments that A-Rod's had against the Red Sox. He made his Major League debut against the Red Sox with the Mariners at Fenway Park. First Major League hit was here. Walk-off grand slam while he was at the Rangers. 2-run walk-off home run with the Yankees in the bottom of the 15th at the stadium. And a pinch hit home run in 2015 tying Willie Mays with 660 home runs, 4th all-time. He's at 696. And before the game, A-Rod moved wheelbarrows to get to fans so he can give them autographs. So he's doing it all right now, and he will play for sure on Friday at the stadium against Tampa Bay, and you'll see that game on Yes. We have great pregame coverage set up, a lengthy interview that we'll be doing with Alex as well, and it all starts at 6 p.m. So watch that on Yes.
And he'll be in the lineup Thursday, I understand, here in Boston against Stephen Wright.
How about the year that Sandy Leon is having? 364, 4 homers and 20 ribbies. They were devastated by injuries to their catchers, and he has really stepped up, and he does a good job behind the plate.
He's always been known as a good receiver, calls a great game, throws well. But I think you got to give Chili Davis some credit here, the hitting instructor with the Red Sox. And you think about Jackie Bradley Jr. a few years ago. Chili was a non-factor offensively, always a good center fielder, and then all of a sudden Chili Davis comes over. Jackie Bradley Jr. is on the All-Star team. Now you look at a guy like Sandy Leon, who all of a sudden is figuring out. I don't think it's a coincidence Chili Davis is in that dugout.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Leon. Let's hear from Alex Rodriguez. He talked before the game about Boston fans.
It's a great chance to give me one great loud boo on the way out and send me to Miami. And the one thing is I love Boston. It's a great city. I love Fenway Park. I started here. My mother and brother and sister were here. I want my girls to go to college somewhere in Boston. I'm not going to say where, but somewhere in Boston. So I don't know. Should be fun. It should be fun.
Be interesting, the reception that he gets. He'll probably get booed. And people realize here how close it came that he was going to be a Red Sox player. The union would not allow him to devalue his contract, so they disallowed the deal. He told me today, he said, never in the history of the world has somebody been told you can't give back $40 million. They said, but that's the way it worked out, and it worked out for the best. I ended up with the New York Yankees, but he was supposed to be here and be their shortstop.
Worked out with the Yankees because Aaron Boone hurt his knee playing basketball.
Lined into the left field, it's a base hit. So Benintendi gets his first hit here at Fenway Park. Now, speaking of Alex and Benintendi, Benintendi was born on July 6th of 1994. And Alex Rodriguez made his Major League debut 2 days later.
Well, Benintendi, how young does he look?
Very.
But he was really pounded it at AA and AAA this year. University of Arkansas, played in the College World Series.
First round pick last year, 7th overall pick. And that's one of the benefits that the Red Sox had, finishing in last place the way they did. They had a very high draft pick, and you know, in the Red Sox there was some talk about them talking with the White Sox about Chris Sale. High drive, left center, and that ball is going to be off the green monster. Benintendi is at third. They're going to hold him up. It's a double for Mookie Betts. And the Red Sox have runners on second and third and 1 man out.
Mookie Betts having a fantastic season. Leads the major leagues in total bases. And scorches this one high off the green monster. That green monster's been busy tonight. Ellsbury, who's been here before, plays it perfectly, gets it back in. Benintendi's going to have to stop at third.
One of those games you can play with a green monster. Brett Gardner was trying to deke out the young Red Sox outfielder Benintendi. He was actually faking like he was camped underneath the ball, trying to get him to stop at second, but the youngster wasn't buying it.
Anyway, every deal that the Red Sox were trying to make, they kept being asked for Benintendi, and they refused. They just think this kid could become too big of a star.
When you look at his minor league numbers, they would say that.
Here's Dustin Pedroia. He takes a strike. Yankees will play the infield back. They'll give up a run. Runners on second and third with one out. Pedroia drove Hicks back to the warning track at right center in the first inning.
This will be interesting to watch right here with Severino out on the mound. Gary Sanchez, a young catcher behind the plate. Second and third, one out. Infield back. You will trade an out for that run. Try to stay away from the big inning if you can. Sometimes a young battery will go for it, try to get the strikeout, work out of an inning. Ground ball up the middle is not the worst thing here.
There's a strike.
Well, these two, as Michael said, have worked together down at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And when Severino was sent back down to the minor leagues, well, he worked on it. He got his game in shape. Went 7-1 in 10 starts down there.
It's like such a luxury for a young catcher to have a pitcher out on the mound who you worked with in the minor leagues.
You know, before the game, we just saw a shot of Sanchez there giving the signs to Severino. I talked to Joe Girardi and Tony Pena. You know, both catchers in their days in the big leagues, and about Sanchez, and they both said basically the same thing. So far, they haven't really had to tell him much of anything. Just give him the game plan and let him go. One thing we saw from Sanchez in the series against Cleveland, he can throw. Threw out 3 runners trying to attempt to move up to second base.
Just got a piece to stay alive.
You know, Kenny, I was watching those games in the studio, and my thought about Sanchez was very confident and very comfortable behind the plate. Good pitch right there. Nice job by Pedroia, just getting a piece.
Those are pitches that major league hitters can spoil that minor league hitters cannot. And Pedroia keeps the at bat going. Well, let's say they're less apt to do so in the minor leagues.
One-two.
Pedroia has been leading out over the plate the last 2 pitches, fouled the last 2 off. Severino wants to talk to Sanchez. Let's see where this next pitch is located.
Well, you're right, Kenny. Everything has been away, fastballs and the slider. If you're Dustin Pedroia, it helps when that man is standing in the on-deck circle. You know you're probably going to get some pretty good pitches to hit.
Grounded foul.
The big thing right here for Severino, the last 3 pitches that you have thrown have been perfectly executed, and Pedroia has fouled them. He spoiled them. You don't have to make anything nastier right here. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like Joe Girardi said, stay aggressive.
1-2. Boy, is Pedroia putting together a good at bat.
That's the best pitch he had to hit right there, and he had a big swing at it.
98-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's always been a good high fastball hitter.
The 1-2. Laced down the right field line. It is a base hit. That's going to tie the game. Hicks plays it in the corner. He'll fire it in. It's a 2-run double for Pedroia, who wins the battle with Severino, and it's 2-2.
Go back to that pitch that he just was able to spoil a couple of them that he kept his at-bat going. He finally got something he could hit, and he laced it in the right field for the double. One thing Pedroia has done this year, he's hit the ball much better to the opposite field. And one reason he stands way off the plate, anything he gets away, he's trying to go that way. And that one was up. That wasn't the best pitch of the at-bat. And he laces it over the head of Teixeira for a 2-run double. And the Red Sox have tied it up. That was a very good at-bat for Dustin Pedroia. Shows you what type of pesky hitter he could be.
And Pedroia knew that he won a very, very hard-fought battle because he clapped his hands furiously when he got to second.
Almost had him struck out on this pitch. Severino made a very good pitch. And that's the one that he fouled off. A lot of hitters wouldn't gotten to that. They would have either taken it maybe for a strike. And you can see his reaction after putting on a tough at-bat, picking up the hit.
So it's 2-2 now, bottom of the third. Here is Ortiz. And a strike.
Kenny, in your scouting report, you said this was going to be a good test for Severino, a lineup that has a lot of productive hitters all the way through.
Well, and Bogaerts is not playing.
Waved at that one. 0-2.
Usually Big Poppy's batting fourth. Bogaerts is hitting third.
It's strange that they had a check on that. Took a full swing. Crowd chanting Poppy. Grounded to first. Teixeira will take it himself. Steps on the bag. One away. Moving Pedroia to third. Check that 2-way. As Pedroia goes to third. That'll bring up Hanley Ramirez. Driven the other way. Foul ball.
Ramirez is currently 0 for his last 8, but you go a little further back, he's hit 6 home runs in his last 16 games. So he's yet another tough customer in this Red Sox lineup.
Foul back. And the count is 0-2. Ramirez grounded to short. That was in the second. Runner at third, 2 men out. Bottom of the third, 2 men in. It's 2-2 here at Fenway. Foul the other way again. .54 pitches for Severino. 39 strikes. Nice block by Sanchez. And boy, did Pedroia come down the line. But Sanchez held on rather than risk the throw to Headley.
Well, Sanchez does everything right. You watch the glove go down first. The body follows. Good angle back towards the field. And Pedroia does everything right. You're taught when the ball's in the dirt, take a hard secondary. Very impressed with Sanchez behind the plate with his blocking ability. He makes it look easy. When the glove leads, the body follows. That was textbook right there.
1-2. Grounded right to Castro. They had him positioned perfectly, and that will do it. But the Red Sox tied the score, 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 man left. 3 in the books. It's a 2-2 game on Yes. We're doing more in state-of-the-art healthcare. The Boston bullpen has taken a beating this year. Koji Uehara, 15-day DL. Carson Smith was supposed to be a good setup guy for them, out for the season. Tommy John surgery. Same surgery for Brandon Workman. Kimbrel spent some time on the DL, and he's back now, but it's one of the reasons that they acquired Brad Ziegler. Audi scoreboard 2-2. Top of the 4th as Gregorius takes a strike. That one is lined and caught by the shortstop, Brock Holt. 1 away.
Holt with the smile. He can play just about anywhere on the field. He's made most of his starts in left field this year, but we've seen him just about every position, with the exception of pitcher or catcher.
There's a strike to Chase Headley. Ripped to right field. Right there is Betts to put it away, so he hit it hard. But Betts makes the catch for the second out.
Second ball that Headley's kind of hit on the nose tonight. Sinking line drive, and Mookie Betts hauls it in. This one had a little overspin on it. As Betts will make the catch for out number 2. Right field, difficult to play. It's one of these right fields that the foul pole is actually closer to home plate than you are. It's the only park in the major leagues that's true.
Sanchez takes a strike. Sanchez grounded to third. That was in the second. He has a 4-game hitting streak. Count 0-2.
He's seeing a steady diet of breaking balls from Rick Porcello. The ground ball to third base, his first at bat, slider, curveball. First 2 pitches here in the 4th.
Just missed.
All you got to do is hit one of those breaking balls well, and they start to reform their plan. This one, the sinker just off the corner.
Swing and a miss. An impressive inning for Porcello as the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 2-2. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Heineken. Open your world. And by the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event. Get exceptional limited time offers on a Lincoln of your choice. Now Severino threw 28 pitches in the third inning. This is after having thrown 28 pitches in the first 2 innings. And the Yankees went down 1-2-3, so he didn't have any kind of rest on the bench, and now has to pop back out for the bottom of the fourth. Audi scoreboard shows it 2-2. We'll see how he reacts to that. And the first pitch is a strike to Jackie Bradley Jr. Oh and 2.
Really concentrating on Severino and his head tonight after his last outing, the relief outing against the Mets. Told Meredith about he was tilting his head back a little too much.
Fly ball center field. Ellsbury's there. 1 out.
I actually went to Larry Rothschild because Severino said something about tipping pitches, which I was a little confused. So some clarification from Larry Rothschild, and he said that the leaning back with his head doesn't tip any pitches. It just gets him in a bad spot mechanically where he's losing his fastball, and the slider is not as tight as we've seen since he's gotten back to the big leagues. So nice adjustment by the young pitcher and a veteran major league pitching coach.
Yeah, Rothschild had mentioned the same thing to me about the leaning back. The only pitcher I can think of right now had a lot of success, even though he leaned back quite a bit. Andy Pettit. In his delivery, he would lean back quite a bit and still able to get people out.
Ground ball to Castro. He gets Travis Shaw for the second out. Yeah, I was thinking about you yesterday. Your rating system for 1-hit games, 2-hit games.
Do you like that?
Yeah. Now, what's a 4-hit game?
That's a great game.
All right. So, what did Brandon Crawford have yesterday? He had 7 hits.
Whoa, off the charts. What, he's 7 for 8?
And the game winner, too.
Oh, my goodness. That's a Hall of Fame game.
There's Brock Holt. There's a strike. Two-two, bottom of the fourth inning. Yankees and the Red Sox at Fenway. So cool when these two teams play each other here. This series has been going on since 1912, right here at this ballpark.
Severino trying to have a quick inning of his own here. Be a nice bounce back inning after 28 pitches last inning.
The 1-2. Chop foul. John, when you were here with the Yankees, sometimes you were in the bullpen when you weren't starting. How tough was it out there? Because the fans are on top of you.
The fans are brutal out there, but you would hear some great lines. But it's funny you bring that up today. I was in the food room, and I think I saw the security guard that Jeff Nelson got in a brawl with. You remember that?
Really?
And the bullpen.
So
I'm looking at this
to the
guy.
food room?
I'm looking at this guy like, man, he looks familiar. And I was the first one in between those two guys when I got out in the brawl. So I can't imagine that he's still around.
He got reassigned.
Those are the things I think about when I come back here. You know, the Jeff Nelson brawl in the bullpen.
What'd you say when you tried to get in the middle of it?
Now, what happened was the guy was getting the crowd going in the bleachers with the towel, and Nelly looked at me and said, "I've had enough of this." And when he walked over, I'm kind of sitting there watching, and I could see the response from. He was a grounds crew guy that was a security guy there. I got thrown up against the back wall by one of those cops. But anyway, I saw the kid look at Nelly and said, "I don't have to take anything from you, Nelly," and that's when I knew things were going to get out of hand. But there was a big police officer in the other bullpen who just threw me against the back wall.
Wow. Holt goes down on strikes, but that's the sidebar to John's story. We go to the 5th inning. It's 2-2. It's calm out there right now. Start the 5th inning, and it'll be 9-1-2 in the Yankee order. You see 2-5-0 and 2-4-0 on the Cadillac scoreboard. Aaron Hicks will start it off and hit a fly ball to center in the 2nd. And he tries a push bunt, and it's a foul ball out of the reach of Shaw. Trying to bunt more lately. You can see that the Yankees have said, use your speed. Put the ball in play.
The Red Sox didn't have the major shift on with him at the plate. I think they know he can run a bit. Shaw about even with the bag at 3rd.
One and one.
Well, this game is about adjustments. Hicks all season long has struggled somewhat. And he's going to have to make some adjustments as we go along here. It looks like he's going to get an opportunity to play some now with the Beltran gone. I think the major adjustment he has to make is learn how to hit the ball to the opposite field a lot better than he does now. It's almost not every pitch is thrown up there to be pulled.
But even right there, Kenny, I mean, that's a fastball that he should do something with. And
it was middle, yeah.
And he's a little late, you know, and I wonder about that leg kick and getting his foot down a little bit earlier.
Ooh. Todd Tichenor flinched a little bit. The home plate umpire was thinking about calling that a strike. That's that fastball supposed to move back over the inside corner, just a little inside.
Grounded to first. Ramirez, one away. Follow Yankees Baseball Live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
My point being with Hicks, he's definitely got to do something. He's been around 200 or less all season long. And the rest of the tools are there. We see it. He can play the outfield. He can run. But the hitting has just not come around.
Brett Gardner takes a strike from Porcello. Gardner doubled and scored on McCann's single in the 3rd inning. Gardner's 2 for 2 against Porcello. Led off the game with a single.
He's hit the ball hard twice.
Tied him up there, 0-2.
Kenny, I see what you were saying about Porcello not walking anybody. I mean, he's just pounding the strike zone. Check swing by Brett Gardner. And pitch count is in great shape, only 62. He kind of has that attitude of, here I come. You're going to get me or I'm going to get you.
Strike 3. Gardner down looking, so he gets Gardner.
I think one thing with Porcello is we see that fastball again that swings back, the spillover fastball for the called strike. Take another look at it, and it did hit the corner. Leon with the target. But I think if you're Porcello or these Red Sox pitching staff, you know if you can hold the opposition, your team's going to score. I mean, as much as the Red Sox have scored this year, you're confident that they're going to get you some runs to work with. It's got to be a pretty good feeling.
Here's Ellsbury 0 for 2. 1-0.
And I'm thinking about Porcello too. You know, that first year pitching at Fenway Park as your home stadium, and it's a hitter's park. That's got to be a little intimidating. Changed his attitude this year, really pounding the strike zone. Worked out for him.
I think you got to say the heck with it. It's almost like a pitcher pitching at Camden Yards in Baltimore. You just got to say the heck with it. And you know, if I give up I might give up some, but they might score a bunch tonight.
One and 2.
I think of you know, Chris Tillman in Baltimore. I think he's got 14 wins.
Porcello deals. Line foul. And the 1-2. Missed inside, just missed. We're in the top of the 5th, 2-2 game. That's how close that was. Three and 2. Teixeira on deck. Ellsbury works a walk. Kenny mentioned that Porcello has 99 wins in his career. He doesn't turn 28 until December 27th. And since 1920, only 44 pitchers who debuted during the live ball era have earned 100 wins before turning 28 years old. 16 of those 44 are in the Hall of Fame. Couple still active. CeCe, Felix Hernandez, Clayton Kershaw. And that group includes only 9 players who debuted in 1976 or later. So it's not as easy to get wins anymore, because first sign of trouble, they're going to go to the bullpen. And you don't get to stay in games 7, 8 innings.
Lack of complete game victories.
Runner goes. Ground ball. Right side. And that will do it here in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left at the end of 4 1/2. We're halfway through. It's 2-2. Yankeeography Bernie Williams for a look back at the beloved center fielder's career in pinstripes. And tomorrow night at 11, don't miss the newly updated Derek Jeter Yankeeography to get the inside story of Derek's farewell tour and his fairy tale final game in pinstripes. Only on Yes. All right, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 2-2 game at Fenway. Severino against Porcello. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Red Sox order. Red Sox are 60-50, and the Yankees are 56-55.
Flash, you were talking about Sandy Leon's improved hitting, but he started the season. I bet a lot of us would like to start it the way we would like to start it. 5 for 5.
Pitch outside to Leon.
Start thinking you might have something special here, huh?
Cadillac scoreboard 2-2. You go 5 for 5, you know you can follow it with an 0 for 10 and still be hitting 333.
Well, it wasn't in one game, but he had the 5 consecutive hits to begin the season.
See, this is the way Michael thinks, right? You go 5 for 5. You and I would be like, man, I'm off to a great start. I'm going to get 2 or 3 more tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's already thinking about the 0 for 10 coming.
I'm a realistic person. You know it's going to come.
No, not so soon.
Not when you're going that well at the beginning.
Sorry, I've disappointed you, John. Called hedging your bet. 2-2. Line drive past it, diving to Sharon down the right field line. Hicks lets the ball get by him. Rattling around in the corner. Leon is going to go to third, and he will make it. A stand-up triple for the Red Sox catcher.
Leon's second triple of the year. First of all, the ball is rocketed by Teixeira. Going to take a look at this on Yes Bo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. About a foot away from Teixeira's glove. Ball headed for the corner. This is what I'm talking about. A lot of room for right fielders to try and cover. Hicks tries to cut it off at the pass. It gets by him. Red Sox fans are hoping the ball rolls all the way to the bullpen. No matter. Leon's at third with his second triple of the year.
Pitch to Benintendi is low. Yankees have the infield in, try to cut off the run at third. High fly ball. Deep center. Turning and looking is Ellsbury, and it's off the Green Monster. Benintendi makes a big turn. He'll get back to second. Scoring easily is Leon. It's an RBI double for Benintendi. And it's 3-2 Boston. And now the umpire is going to confer and see if that was in fact a home run.
If it's to the right of that yellow line, it's going to be a homer. John Farrell poised coming out of the dugout. We get another look. Did it hit the line?
Hit the line.
Maybe we can slow it down one more time, get a better look at it here. You know, it's hard to see from that angle.
Well, they give him a home run, and now Joe Girardi will come out of the dugout. So that's Benintendi's first big league home run, a 2-run shot, and the Red Sox lead 4-2. And Joe's talking with the crew chief, Bill Miller. Now Joe wants to challenge it and say, hey, it hit the line. It didn't hit to the right of the line, so.
A lot of nooks and crannies here at Fenway Park, and we have. Wow, it's still hard to tell. It's like it hit the line itself.
Joe's probably upset that they overturned it on the field because now, is that conclusive enough evidence to turn it into a double again? And now they can't hear back to New York. There's a different angle. See if we can tell on this.
Wow.
I don't know.
Still, like it looks like it did hit the line. As I said, a lot of nooks and crannies here at Fenway Park. A lot of odd angles. The Red Sox have opened this inning with a triple and now what appears to be a home run.
That is an awfully tough call for an umpire. I mean, that's just an argument waiting to happen. Whichever way it's called, that's so tough for an umpire to get close enough to know for sure where that ball hit.
And think about it, you know, Kenny, you could talk to this. You're running out there, so your head is moving, your eyes are moving. That's a tough call.
That's going to be tough for the people back in New York. I mean, they see what we just saw.
Now, you got to remember they have access to the Red Sox feed of the game as well. So they're going over video from our game and from the Red Sox game.
Now, this is not a challenge for Joe. This would be called a crew chief review. So Joe asked him, you know, I shouldn't have to challenge this. I'd like you to take a look. And they're taking a long look.
Yeah, but if you're that kid sitting in the dugout thinking you got your first big league home run,
Standing next to Big Pop, he says, I got 500 something more to catch him.
So the play is under review. And they're allowing Severino to take some to the mitt with Sanchez. Yankee infielders just standing together, looking up at the scoreboard. Ellsbury and Hicks standing together in center. Gardner remains in left. So a lot of waiting right now to see if it's 3-2 or 4-2. And they say you got to go back to second. So the kid gets his first big league home run taken away. The gut feeling is he'll probably get one.
Yeah, with that swing and the way the ball jumps off his bat, John Farrell not happy.
Well, it's still a first. It's his first big league double.
Third big league RBI. So Benintendi with an RBI double gives the Red Sox a 3-2 lead.
Tell you what, you look at him physically, there's nothing to him, and then you see the way the ball jumps off the bat.
When he was in college, he weighed 160 pounds. He was 5'10", 160. Coach said, get in the weight room. He bumped it up to 5'10", 180. But they said, I was talking to Joe Castiglione, the longtime radio broadcaster for the Red Sox. He said from the forearms down, he's like a 200-pounder. Well, maybe that's why the ball jumps off his bat, Flash.
The review time was 3 minutes and 32 seconds.
Yeah, it's like he's got some power there.
Yeah, Kenny, I think the game plan has to change a little bit, right? Hit the ball the other way for a base hit, hit the ball the other way for what we thought was a home run. Now it's a double.
Newest Yankee Tommy Lane, as Richard Blyer was sent down to Scranton Wilkes-Barre. So the count 1-2 on Mookie Betts. Still nobody out. 3-2 Boston. Blocked by Sanchez.
We were talking about the year that Betts is having. Top 10 in batting average, runs batted in, multi-hit games. He leads the league in that category. Runs, hits, total bases, doubles, triples, stolen bases, slugging percentage, extra base hits, home batting average, and runners in scoring position. He's having a good year. And he can bowl. He's bowled about 300 games. There's another spoiling of a pretty good pitch.
3-2. Right back to Severino. Checks the runner back. And they retire Betts for the first out. Now Sanchez wants to talk with Severino. Severino at 82 pitches, 57 strikes.
We've seen a lot of these conversations between these two tonight. You think back to that last Pedroia at bat. It was really the at bat Larry Rothschild and everybody will dissect. Severino threw some great pitches. Pedroia fouled him off and finally got one to hammer to right field.
Here's Dustin Pedroia. Big 2-run double in the third tied the game at 2.
One thing we saw that last at bat, every pitch was away. To see some point maybe Pedroia be aware of the inside pitch.
Pedroia stands so far off the plate, Flash, for him to cover the outside corner. He's got to be diving to begin with.
Yep. This isn't good. You have to go out there and talk. Obviously not on the same page. Big spot in this game. David Ortiz on deck. First base open. A lot of things going on.
This chiropractic telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. There's a strike. Still throwing hard. That was 97 miles an hour. To right center. It is a base hit. It'll get past Hicks and go to the wall. Benintendi scores. It's another double, another RBI for Pedroia, and the Red Sox lead 4-2.
Well, the idea was right, but the execution was not there. Severino tried to run a fastball in on the hands of Pedroia, left it out over the plate. Dustin Pedroia going out there, able to hammer it to right field again. Sanchez sets up inside, has to move his glove to the middle of the plate. Mistake with location by Severino.
Well, Joe Girardi makes the Verizon call to the bullpen. Severino departs. Tommy Lane comes on to face David Ortiz. 12th and help the Yankees kick off the 1996 World Championship anniversary weekend, as the first 15,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a 1996 World Championship replica trophy courtesy of Delta Airlines. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. So Benintendi has scored 2 of the 4 runs that the Red Sox have on the board. And now the Yankees will turn to Tommy Lane to deal with David Ortiz. He had been with Boston 34 games, 3.77. And the pitch is outside 1-0.
If he was with the Red Sox, he's seen David Ortiz hit plenty of times, right? We'll see all those nights sitting in the bullpen if he ever thought about how he would get him out.
Yeah. If he was thinking about it, his wishes come true.
See Severino sitting behind Sabathia.
You saw the 7 hits that Severino gave up, 5 of them for extra bases.
Now, I talked with Andrew Miller on Saturday, and he said, it's really weird. He said, you're on the mound. I know every single thing that those hitters do, and they know every single trick I have. He said, I don't know who has the advantage. Who do you think has the advantage?
I think the pitcher always has the advantage because he knows what he wants to throw. And if he executes, he's got a pretty good chance of getting you out.
Two and one.
You know what's funny, though? I played with guys who have gotten traded, and then they come up to the plate, and I start thinking to myself, I've never thought about how to get my teammate out. And then all of a sudden now he's your opponent, and you kind of go with the scouting reports and what you remember, but you're so focused on the other team all the time. I'm surprised Andrew said that, actually.
He said, I know all their strengths and weaknesses. I've watched them for a year and a half.
That's why I never got too friendly with the pitchers on my team. You never know.
2-1. There's a strike. 2-2. Ortiz was 0 for 2 against Severino. Saw Swarzak up for the Yankees. So this could be Lane just in here to face Ortiz. Pedroia at second. 4-2 Red Sox, bottom of the 5th. Driven to left field. It's going to be off the wall. Pedroia knew it, and he will score easily. It's an RBI single for Ortiz. His 88th ribby of the year, and it's 5-2 Red Sox.
Good read by Pedroia at second base. Over the years, Big Poppy's been more of an opposite field hitter, realizing that the wall can be friendly to a left-handed hitter here at Fenway Park. There's Pedroia. You can tell by the sound of the bat the ball's hit pretty well. He inches towards third. Now he scores easily. Now the other day, David Ortiz had a base hit that moved him by Mickey Mantle on the all-time hit list. So he's one more past the Mick after that single and run batted in.
Well, they keep Lane in to face Hanley Ramirez. And there's a strike. Teixeira is not holding Ortiz on at first. 2 retiring first baseman, although Ortiz doesn't play it that often. A little bit of news surrounding David Ortiz today. Long planned, long advertised, long promoted. Today was David Ortiz bobblehead night at Fenway Park. And the Red Sox got a load of the bobblehead because they get delivered like right when they're going to be given out, because a lot of these ballparks don't have the storage room. So they get delivered that day. And they felt that the bobblehead was offensive. It wasn't a depiction of David at all. Line drive right at Headley, 2 away. So they said that they will not give them out, and they will hand vouchers out or give a number for everybody in attendance today. So they will get a bobblehead at some point, but they were embarrassed to hand out the bobbleheads that was delivered today.
Don't they have to approve it when it's
I thought
developed?
so, but I guess when they looked at how it turned out.
Nah, it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. So they decided to hold on to them, and I don't know if they're going to destroy them all or whatever, but there's going to be they're going to get another one made. By the way, when Ortiz and Teixeira are there in the picture at first base, you've got 929 home runs there. That's a whole lot of home run hitting.
Pitch to Bradley is up and in. Brian Cashman brings up Jackie Bradley Jr. a lot when talking about Aaron Hicks and Hicks's struggles. The Yankee general manager has said, if you look, when Bradley first came up to the Red Sox, he really struggled, was hitting around 200. People said the Red Sox should give up on him, get rid of him, but they stayed with him. And look at the player that he's become. And the Yankees feel that Hicks has the tools to turn it around and not have maybe the same career as Jackie Bradley Jr., but what I guess Brian's trying to say is that you just don't give up on players with skills that easily and that quickly.
By the way,
remember the Red Sox finished last when he was struggling.
Yeah, that's true. I shorted them a few. It's 932 home runs between the two of them.
As Bradley is down looking. But the Red Sox take the lead. They score 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 man left. We go to the 6th, 5-2 Boston. Brought to you by Fios. Fios is not cable. We are wired differently. Visit getfios.com. Nathan Eovaldi gets started for the Yankees against Drew Pomeranz. And our coverage will begin at 6 o'clock. Game time right around 7.
Well, Pomeranz is a left-hander, and I thought Alex Rodriguez would get a start tomorrow, but he's going to start Thursday night's game against Stephen Wright, the knuckleball.
I guess when you see the finish line,
yeah,
you kind of stop playing the politically correct game? Because Alex said, I'm really disappointed I'm not playing. I thought I was going to.
You mean
Joe
tonight or tomorrow? Or?
Yeah, Joe said, if he wants to play, I'll play him every game. And Alex wants to play. But Joe said that I got caught up in the emotion and I didn't mean it. So here is Alex before the game about being disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I mean, when I heard him say that I can actually play in all 4 games, I was really excited to get to my bats, and I don't know what happened. So I guess I play on Thursday.
Well, Thursday is the day, and then Friday at Yankee Stadium. Obviously, he can play in any of these games, maybe as a pinch hitter later on. And he did take ground balls at third before the game today as well. Castro fouls it back. The 4 games in a row never made sense to me, though, because you haven't played him essentially for a full month because you're saying that you're in a pennant race and trying to win a wild card, and you obviously don't think he's good enough to play anymore. Well, nothing has been any different. You're only 4.5 games out of the second wild card, or you have to jump a couple of teams, and all of a sudden you're going to play him 4 games in a row. That didn't make sense. But then once you say it, you kind of figure that you're locked in.
There's A-Rod taking ground balls before the game here at Fenway Park. Haven't really seen him doing that in quite a while, but
I did a long interview with Alex today on the field that we will have on the pregame show on Friday. Our pregame show will start at 6 for his final game. And I asked him straight out, I said, when you leave Yankee Stadium on Friday, if another team calls you, would you in fact want to play? And he said, I really haven't thought that far ahead. Really? Alex, I think Alex thinks everything out.
Yes.
So the fact that he just didn't say absolutely not would lead you to believe that he still thinks he can play, and if the opportunity presents itself, he just might.
Well, I think we all got that indication listening to him at the press conference.
And I think the 700 means something to him, too. Line to right field, and right there is Betts as the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 5-2 Red Sox. Yes, is brought to you in part by GMC. We are professional grade. Learn more at GMC.com. By People's United Bank NA. Thumbs up for quick balance with Touch ID on your mobile phone. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2016 models. Gorgeous night here in Boston. And a full house here at Fenway Park as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Travis Shaw will lead off. Tommy Lane still in there, and he deals a strike to Shaw. Broken back, grounded foul.
Bat boy right on it. Gave him a new bat. I think he's going to have to put a little stick-em on there.
Well, the bat boy really has to be on the ball here because the dugout is like a short cab ride from home plate.
Now you know how we felt walking back after striking out, huh, Flash?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's.
And all those words of encouragement from the Red Sox fans.
High fly ball, right field, deep. Going back is Hicks in front of the track. He'll make the play for the first out. Here's Brock Holt. He has struck out twice tonight, both of those against Severino. Shows bunt, takes outside. 1-0.
That's going to move both Headley and Teixeira up about even with the bag.
There's a strike.
Holt is one of those players that is becoming more and more fashionable. I think back to Ben Zobrist when he was with the Rays. Every manager likes to have a player like this on their roster who can play just about anywhere.
Ground ball. Teixeira flips to lane.
Tonight, Holt at shortstop gives Xander Bogaerts a night off.
And I think the Yankees kind of envision that with Rob Refsnyder. Not able to play short, but second, first. He can play in the outfield. He has played third in spring training, so if you can play a lot of positions, there's a spot on you on an American League team. So Lane's night is over. He retires the first two here in the sixth. Swarzak will come on to face Leon. (1994). A young Alex Rodriguez. In the box score, it's a line drive. It's his first big league hit. And then he followed that up with a stolen base. People forget because Alex now, with the hip issues that he's had, he had a 40-40 year. The guy could really run and steal bases. And he said something today. I never thought he would answer this question. I said, we know that you certainly have done some things wrong, and you've said a lot of things wrong. I said, do you consider yourself one of the best players in baseball history? He said, yes, I do. And again, it's up to everybody out there to apply their own thought about what's real and what's not. But when you just look at the numbers, he's one of the greatest players who ever played. Anthony Swarzak has an 0-1 count on San De Leon.
Watching that video of his first major league hit, I'm reminded the first time I saw Alex in Detroit at the old Tiger Stadium. Line drive 440 feet to center field, the old Tiger Stadium. I said, oh boy, all right.
It went out?
Yep.
Yep, that was a long way to center it. Not many people went out there.
Count 1-2 on the Red Sox catcher. Severino started, Lane, and now Swarzak. And the pitch.
How do you think 100 years from now, if you're reading about baseball history, how do you think they're going to, what do you think they're going to put in the history books about the steroid era of baseball and how the numbers were skewed somewhat for players, and not only Alex Wright, but a number of players? You think there's going to be an asterisk by this whole period? They're going to have to mention it in the history books.
I think it's going to have to be a whole chapter.
Well, yeah.
2-2. Strike three. Leon down looking. So the Red Sox go down in order against two Yankee relievers, and we'll go to the seventh. It's 5-2 Boston. First place New York City FC into battle as they travel to Columbus for a clash with the Crew. Watch all the action live with kickoff Saturday at 7:30 right here on Yes, presented by Etihad Airways. We start the seventh, and the first pitch to Headley is a ball, and there's a strike, 1-1. Headley an RBI double in the second. The GMC scoreboard shows the Red Sox up 5-2. Pitch outside, 2-1.
Yeah, one of the first rules of broadcast, you don't start any stories with 2 outs. And if we kind of started that 100 years from now, what are they going to say? They're going to say Headley's going to have an extra base hit here, maybe.
And put another dent in the Green Monster. And again, Bradley Jr. got too close to the wall. Going for three is Headley. He's out. And Joe Espada right away points to the Yankee dugout because he thinks he's safe. That was some throw by Jackie Bradley Jr.
Well, you can see off the green monster, it hits off of that ledge and really ricochets over Bradley's head. I just thought he was trying to throw to the cutoff man right there. That's one hop right on the money. Here we go. We got something going on in the field.
Headley's yelling at Porcello. Bullpens are emptying. Somebody said something that somebody didn't like.
And you keep looking for Bill Lee and Greg Nettles. Headley is fairly mild-mannered, but he is obviously very fired up.
I think the possibility of him being out is not sitting well with him to begin with. And if anybody says something, and it might have been Porcello, because it looks like that was the man he was showing anger towards. Everything's kind of calming down here. Meanwhile, we got a review. So this is going to take even longer to get back into action. Here's another angle.
Looks like he's out. Looks like they got him on the shoulder.
And then he comes off the bag. Does he get the hand back? Looked like he did.
That was his left hand in when they caught him on the shoulder.
That's home plate umpire Todd Titchener on the rotation of the umpires, who hustles down. He's there to make the call. You can't say he was out of position. We take a look at it on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. It is hard to tell whether he got him or not. So once again, I think we're going to have a lengthy review here.
No, they're not reviewing it.
They're just going to say he's out, huh?
Yeah, the Yankees are choosing not to challenge.
All right. Well, let's go back to that throw, because it was a heck of a throw.
He threw that ball from deep right center field without even setting himself. Wow. There's Gary Sanchez.
Whew. Of course. What'd you say? Yeah. Here comes Travis Shaw in there to try and cut Headley off at the pass.
Foul back off the bat of Sanchez.
We've seen a couple of guys this week. Mark Teixeira got fired up. Now Chase Headley, some mild-mannered personalities. See what happens when I start talking about brawls in the bullpen, Michael?
100 years from now.
Ground ball is short. Sanchez hustling down the line, but gets thrown out by Holt, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at the pitch count, brought to you by the Acura Summer of Performance event. 90 pitches for Porcello. Great strike to ball ratio, 62-28. And here is Aaron Hicks. One and 0.
Porcello has been going deep in ball games through 8 innings his last time out. A complete game to start before. 92 pitches. The bullpen for the Red Sox is quiet.
Yeah, he's just having one of those years that a lot of things have gone in his favor, including getting the run scoring. I mean, he lost his last time out. That was on August 3rd at Seattle. Before that, he hadn't lost a game going back to May the 17th. So he's been on a roll this year.
And the righty deals the 1-2. 2-2 on Hicks. Now the count is full. Hicks is 0 for 2 tonight. His average of 193 on the season. 4 homers and 21 runs batted in. Grounded to third and booted by Shaw. So Hicks reaches on the E5.
It looked like that ball had a little spin on it. Looked like Hicks hit it right off of the end of the bat. Eats Shaw up over there at third base.
That's his 14th error of the year. I think he knew he had to hustle, first of all, because we had mentioned before that Hicks can run. The ball wasn't hit all that hard.
Here's Brett Gardner. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Single, a double, a run scored. Also struck out looking. Yankees down 5-2. 5-8-0. Leading 2-6-0. Now 5-8-1 with the error on Travis Shaw. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Tampa Bay leads Toronto 5-2 in the 7th. Orioles and the A's in Oakland later on. Houston 2-1 over Minnesota in the 5th. And Detroit and Seattle later on. So those are the teams that the Yankees have to climb over. And the other team is the one that's on the field. And they're trailing that team 5-2. These 3 games very important. Top of the 7th inning, 5-2 Red Sox. Runner on first base. And an 0-2 count on Gardner. Line drive, base hit inside third. It'll go into the corner. Hustling to third is Hicks. They're going to wave him home. And he stopped at third. Benintendi had a hard time getting it out of the corner and left, but waving furiously was Joe Espada. And Hicks stopped at third. So a double for Gardner, but it does not score a run.
Well, nice piece of hitting by Brett Gardner going the other way. You mentioned it, Michael. Benintendi having a trouble in the corner. Joe Espada waving Aaron Hicks, but he wasn't looking. He stops at third. Costs the Yankees a run.
With that double, the Red Sox bullpen is going to get up. The left-hander's up in the pen, getting ready.
So a big at bat here for Ellsbury. And you'll see Hicks going to third and really doesn't pick up Espada till the last moment. Then it's too late. And Espada was waving him home. Pitch to Ellsbury is inside, 1-0. Now he gives him a stop sign first, but then he waves him when he sees Benintendi.
Yeah.
Bobble the ball.
Aaron Hicks put his head down to touch third base. By the time he looked back up, it's too late.
Line to right field. Betts on the run, and he'll get there for the final out. So Ellsbury hit it right on the screws, but Betts was there. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 men left. Time for the stretch. forget, after the Yankees leave the 2 men on, Headley had started with what should have been a double at least. GMC scoreboard 5-2 Red Sox lead the Yankees. So as the guys back in the studio just mentioned, that was Keystone Cops on the bases for the Yanks.
And there's been 10 extra base hits in this game. And the Green Monster is big in play, big time, here at Fenway Park tonight.
Here's Benintendi.
You saw Gary Sanchez kind of set up on the inner half of the plate right there, 2 for 2. And the ball the other way. I think he's going to try to make him look at some pitches inside.
You know, one thing about running the bases when the ball's in front of you, like it was with Hicks, you can eyeball where the ball is. The only time you really need to coach it when the ball is hitting right field or the right center and you're headed for third base. That's when you got to really watch the coach and take your instructions.
The 0-2. Still 0-2. Benintendi looks up at the scoreboard, sees a gaudy 467.
Well, his numbers in the minors were pretty gaudy as well. Then at AA and AAA this year to get himself to the big leagues. I should say directly from AA. Yeah, he didn't see AAA. The Red Sox thought that much of him. 312, 31 doubles, 12 triples, 9 homers, and 76 runs batted in, tossing 16 steals.
See the resume, considered the 5th best prospect by Baseball America in all of baseball. 9th, I'm sorry.
He keeps playing like this, he won't see AAA. And he won't be batting 9th very long either.
Swarzak from the first base side of the rubber deals the 1-2. Just missed with that one. Swarzak wanted strike 3, thought he had it. Count levels.
Yeah, just missed inside. I remember when the Yankees had Robinson Cano batting 9th. What did Jim and Leland say? He was managing the Tigers at the time. Murderers Row and Robinson Cano.
Grounded and off the glove of a diving Teixeira. Flipping to first is Castro. And it's a base hit for Benintendi. His 3rd base hit of the night. We go back to the studio and Bob Lorenz. Thank you, Bob. You wonder who's going to get called up when Alex Rodriguez is released after Friday, because that opens a spot on the 25-man roster. Who will it be? Will it be Tyler Austin? Will it be Aaron Judge? Brian Cashman has already said Frazier is not going to be called up this year.
The Yankees are raving about Tyler Austin in AAA and how he's hitting down there.
Just saw Teixeira speaking with Benintendi at first base there, and you know, I think back to when the young players are doing well, the opposing players say, "Kid, you don't have to be this good. There's no league higher than this one."
1-1 to Betts.
Benintendi 3 for 3 tonight. 2 singles, a double, a run batted in, a couple runs scored.
popped up. Teixeira, one away. Pitch outside. Big night for Pedroia. He is 2 for 3, chasing Shreve up in the Yankee bullpen. He's got 3 ribbies, a run scored, a couple of doubles.
You got Big Poppy coming up next. It could be Shreve's assignment.
There's a strike.
He had a couple of shots at Benintendi at first base. How young does he look?
Blocked by Sanchez, going to second. Benintendi. Ooh, got him. Boy, has he been showing off that arm. So Benintendi tried to advance on a ball in the dirt. Sanchez would want no part of it.
Second time this has happened. Happened during the Cleveland series. Ball in the dirt that Sanchez didn't handle cleanly, but was still able to throw the runner out at second base. Tony Pena said we have yet to see him throw from his knees, and he throws just as well from his knees as he does standing up. And this is a laser to second. I know you got to feel good about this, Flash.
You know what? That is so hard to do, and it was good base running by Benintendi right there. Any ball in the dirt that you block, it's so hard to come up with a good throw. Sanchez made it look easy. Lots of base running. Sees the ball in the dirt, takes off right away, no hesitation, but he's out by about 6 feet.
Wow.
That's how good Sanchez was behind the plate.
That was impressive. So nobody's been able to make it to second base on him yet.
This replay of that throw brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here. You could really hang laundry on that one.
Starlin Castro, just put your glove right there. Let's Sanchez deliver right on the money. Plenty of time.
3-2. Rounded to short. Backing up Gregorius. And he gets Pedroia for the final out. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Let's go to the 8th inning. 5-2 Red Sox. If you can't catch the Yankees games on TV, now you can stream them live on your mobile device using Fox Sports Go. Just download the app and sign in with your subscriber information. Fox Sports Go is available for DirecTV, Optimum, Time Warner Cable, Fios, and Frontier customers. Mark Teixeira leads off, takes the first pitch strike. That one is hammered to right field. Betts back, and he'll make the play. There's so much room out there. One away. That's a home run in Yankee Stadium.
Oh, save it. There's a look at the expanse of right field. I hated playing out there.
And that corner, which already victimized Aaron Hicks, it's a killer. You really have to know how to play that. The ball could hug that corner.
And during the day game with the sun, that made it even more precarious out there in right field.
That's the spot of one of the legendary plays in Yankees history in the one-game playoff in 1978. Lou Piniella just stuck his glove out and saved a run and held Jerry Remy, I believe, to a single rather than a double. Here's Jerry. Still lamenting that. Ground ball to second. Pedroia. 2 outs. So the Red Sox 11-0, as we mentioned at the beginning, and Porcello's previous starts are at Fenway this year. He's personally 10-0. Here's Starlin Castro. 1-0.
Porcello up to 107 pitches. His season high is 115. He did it a couple of times.
We talked about that Piniella play. Let's take a look back at it.
That's off a goose.
What a play.
Yes, it was. It was Rick Burleson holding at second.
That gets by him. Burleson obviously scores. And when you talk to Lou, he said he just stuck his glove out where he thought it could be because he was completely blinded by the sun going down over the grandstand.
I feel you, Lou.
Check swing. Did he go? He does. So the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3 against Porcello. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-2 Red Sox. another showdown with the Red Sox. Yes has complete coverage beginning at 6 with Audi batting practice today and the Chevy pregame. Then we're going to call all the action right here on Yes and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And a programming reminder, Friday night will be A-Rod's final game as a Yankee, and Yes will have full coverage starting at 6 p.m. David Ortiz leads off the bottom of the 8th, 5-2 Boston. Pitch inside from Swarzak.
Yeah, we just saw Porcello in the Red Sox dugout. Looks like his night is over.
Alex, an interested spectator. Hyundai scoreboard 5-2. Red Sox over the Yanks.
Yeah, we saw Shreve warming up in the bullpen, and he's up again. And 4 of the 5 hitters for the Red Sox this inning are left-handed hitters. Ortiz, Jackie Bradley Jr., Shaw, and then Holt.
Pop foul. And out of play. Now it's interesting, the Red Sox announced today that they will not have any ceremony or anything noting Alex Rodriguez's final game here at Fenway Park. And now you wonder, does that allow the Yankees not to have something for David Ortiz? Interesting thing to ponder.
Well, we won't find that out until September when the Red Sox make their final appearance at Yankee Stadium.
Now, no one ever said there was definitely going to be anything, but you figure since every other team has done it, whether they would feel an obligation to do it. But now that nothing will be done for A-Rod. But the Red Sox obviously did honor Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera.
We'll find out September 29th. Red Sox last game at Yankee Stadium. And maybe Big Papi's last game. Ooh, that's got to hurt.
Now, could there be anything to Alex is not retiring? He's being released. Kind of a technicality.
His career is likely ended. They certainly didn't have a lot of warning time to put together a ceremony. It was interesting, though, because when Alex came out to do the interview with us, waiting outside the Yankee dugout, he was waiting there for a while, was the co-owner of the Red Sox, Tom Werner, who gave Alex a hug and introduced him to a young kid that was standing with him as Ortiz walks.
Well, the person who put together the elaborate celebration for Derek Jeter here is Dr. Charles Steinberg, who's years ago used to work in the Orioles front office, and he was known to us as Dr. Chucky. He is an actual dentist if you need any work done while you're here in Boston.
He was in San Diego when I was there.
Yeah, he worked he sort of right-hand man of Larry Lucchino. That was back in Dr. Chucky's formative years. In fact, I don't think he had graduated from dental school as of yet, so he wasn't really a doctor in those days.
Dr. Chucky, the name kind of takes away from the gravitas of the
being
position.
a dentist.
Yeah.
It's a term of endearment. He's a very nice man.
He's very good at what he does.
Oh, yeah.
With the Orioles, he put together great ceremonies, and the Jeter ceremony was really well done.
Okay, so if he's that good, he could put a ceremony together on a few days' notice.
You have to call a lot of people, Flash. You get the caterers involved.
I'm just trying to stir it up a little bit.
The caterers? What is it called? So you expect him to have a deli plate for Alex? Fouled straight back here and just to the left of our booth.
Flash, you were right on it. That felt like Bob Lorenz in Seattle.
They had no place to put Ramirez. He had failed in left field. Obviously, their shortstop is Bogarts, and they said, well, let's try him at first. And he's actually done a nice job, and he always was able to hit.
Well, we know the Red Sox will be looking for a designated hitter next year.
That could be the move.
Though Ramirez has made just 4 errors, but errors don't really tell the whole story when you're playing a position. It's the plays that you make that, or the ones that you don't make. There's Dave Dombrowski. Came over from the Detroit Tigers. One of the better executives in the game. Going back to as I first met him days back in Montreal. He went on to Florida, built a world championship team there. Good
club. Tear it down.
Yeah, had to tear right after the parade. There were guys getting traded. In Detroit, came close. And now here in Boston. Broke in under Roland Heeman with the Chicago White Sox. A longtime general manager in Chicago.
Just missed. Teixeira not holding Ortiz on at first. Red Sox lead 5-2. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's one. On to first. It's a double play around the horn. 5-4-3.
Now, one of the keys to any double play is give that second baseman a nice feed, and there it is. Right on the K in New York, and then on over first base, and they get Ramirez by about a step. Nicely turned. 5-4-3.
That's going to do it for Swarzak. They'll call on Chase and Shreve with Jackie Bradley Jr. due up, and the Red Sox leading 5-2. They showed on the scoreboard. Katie Ledecky and Michael Phelps each won golds in their respective races tonight. Chasen Shreve, his 26th game. Been shuttled back and forth between the Yankees and Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Crowd of 38,089, a sellout here at Fenway on a Tuesday evening. Jackie Bradley Jr. is 1 for 3. He'll face the lefty Shreve. Swing and a miss. Well, what's coming up in the 9th inning for the Yankees? It's Gregorius, Headley, Sanchez, and Hicks. Kimbrel, the closer, is up. Fly ball into left center. Long run for Ellsbury. He makes the play, covering a lot of real estate for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 9th. Yankees are down by 3. They'll face Kimbrel.
Back about tonight, and Dustin Pedroia is going to be the one hitter that he had trouble with. 3rd inning, he goes the other way. That's going to drive in a few runs for the Red Sox. And then you fast forward to the 5th inning. Fastball supposed to be in. Ends out over the plate. Pedroia hammers it to right center field. Those 2 doubles, your Land Rover drives of the game.
Yeah, Severino has nightmares tonight. Pedroia is going to be in him.
So here's the closer. Craig Kimbrel, 18 of 20, 56 strikeouts in 35 1/3 innings. Perhaps too many walks, 16. But opponents hit 167 against him. Gregorius fouls it back.
Yeah, you got to tune it up a notch when this guy comes into games. He's got one of the better fastballs. Going back to his days with the Atlanta Braves.
He was on the DL for a while. He had left knee surgery, arthroscopic knee surgery, on July 11th and returned on August 1st. Kimbrel takes the sign as if he's hanging his arm out the passenger side window. Just taking the breeze. 1-2.
Nasty slider.
Gregorius, Headley, and Sanchez. If anyone gets on, Hicks due up. '97 up and away, 2-2. Yankees need base runners, at least 2 of them, to bring the tying run to the plate. Popped up. Shaw near the stands and runs out of room. It's about 4 rows back.
Yeah, there's not much room in foul territory here in Boston, so you can see why that in other ballparks, a ball like that might have been run down. Certainly in Oakland, and that also helps batting averages here in Boston. Get extra chances.
2-2. 3-2. Didi is 0 for 3 tonight. All 3 obviously against Porcello. So Porcello gives them 8 and turns it over to his closer with a 5-2 lead. Swing and a miss. Gregorius down on strikes. Well, you've got to stick around after the final out for the WB Mason postgame. David Cohn joins Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry in the studio for highlights and analysis of tonight's game. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz has a reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame only on Yes. There's Chase Headley, a couple of doubles and fly ball to right.
Chase has swung the bat well tonight. We'll see if he's taking a strike. I mentioned Kimbrel can be wild.
Headley's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. A couple of doubles, lined out to right field, which I like to say was a misplaced double.
The 1-1. The 7th inning is an inning the Yankees are going to rue with the base running blunders that they made. Down by 3, Headley hits one off the green monster and gets thrown out of third. The crowd chanting, "We want A-Rod" in Boston. Grounded foul.
I don't know if A-Rod wants an at bat against Kimbrel, throwing about 98. He's been sitting there all night.
Just stand up and wave.
Well, that would be filed under the heading of surprise. 2-2. What did he say earlier? I'm sure they'll boo me back to Miami. And a walk to Headley. So one man on. And that brings up the youngster, Gary Sanchez.
So you got to get one more guy on to give yourself a chance here.
Aaron Hicks is on deck. Here's Sanchez. 0 for 3 tonight. His modest 4-game hitting streak hanging in the balance.
Flash, you mentioned the base on balls that Kimbrel will hand out every once in a while, and he's a very good closer. He's one of the best in the game, but it makes you think back to Mariano Rivera, who hardly walked anybody. He could go a whole season and walk 5 guys. It'd be like a basketball team picture. Those are the guys he walked all year.
It just reminded me playing for Sparky Anderson back with the Tigers. There are closers that will walk you and will give you an opportunity to have a big inning if you allow them to. Obviously, Mariano not one of those guys. Just maybe pay attention to some of the Yankees swinging early in counts.
Runner on first, held there by Ramirez. The rookie Gary Sanchez at the plate. That one's bounced up there, 2-1. Line to left field, and because the left fielder could play shallow because of the wall, Benintendi is right there for the second out.
Almost the exact opposite of playing left field here at Fenway Park as of playing right field. Not much room to roam out there. You're more like a highlight player, playing everything off the wall. You can play shallow. Very few runners can score from second base on a base hit directly at the left fielder if you have a decent enough arm.
Here's Aaron Hicks, 0 for 3. Pitch inside. Throw to first, and just getting back is Headley.
Yeah, I much preferred playing left field than right field here.
Leon angry with himself. He felt if he threw that ball on a line that he might have gotten Headley, but he bounced it to Ramirez. Down to their final strike, 1 and 2. Yankees have 7 hits. The Red Sox have 9. Red Sox lead 5-2. Red Sox have 1 error. They made that on a grounder by Hicks to Travis Shaw. So what's left of the sellout crowd, most of them standing, looking for the final strike. The crowd gets louder. Ramirez playing behind Headley. 2 outs, 1-2, ninth inning, 5-2 Red Sox. Pitch outside, 2-2. One more man on, and the Yankees would bring the tying run to the plate, and that would be Brett Gardner, who's had a very good night, 3 for 4. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not. So the count goes full. That's going to release Headley at first.
He does check, and the pitch looked, well, it was called for high.
Top of the ninth inning, Yankees down by 3. Headley's at first. He'll be going. 2 outs, 3-2 count on the right fielder, the number 9 batter, Aaron Hicks. The closer, Kimbrel, sets, deals, and he walked him. So that does bring the tying run to the plate, Brett Gardner. And here comes Carl Willis to talk with Kimbrel.
Looks like somebody's going to get up in the Red Sox bullpen. Kimbrel does have 18 saves. As Michael said, he missed some time on the DL. The Red Sox are going to get another pitcher ready. Matt Barnes.
So here's Gardner. 3 for 4, a couple of doubles. Run scored. Inside, 1-0. On deck is Ellsbury.
I think if you're Brett Gardner, you keep that same approach that you've had. Ball out over the plate, hammered against that green monster. Obviously, we talked about how far away right field is. You're thinking one swing of the bat, but reality, if you're Brett Gardner, just stay on him, hammer him the other way.
The 1-0. It gets past Leon, and Headley will go to third. Hicks stays put at first. Can't take any chances because that run doesn't mean anything. The run at the plate means something.
Was that pitch in the dirt?
No.
No? Pass ball flash? You gonna give it? Let's take a look. Very catchable pass ball.
(2-0). 3-0 on Gardner. So the Yankees making it interesting here in the ninth as Ellsbury waits on deck. And the pitch. Strike one. Ramirez not holding Hicks on at first. Headley leads off third. 2 men out. Yankees trail 5-2, top of the ninth. And the 3-1. He walked him. Bases loaded. 3 walks by Kimbrel, and that loads the bases. So the tying run now at first base, and Ellsbury comes up.
Yankees still don't have a hit in this inning. Looking for a big one here.
You get something down the line, there's a good chance that Gardner, with his speed, could score to tie the game. Last time up, Ellsbury hit a shot to right, run down by Betts, and that was with runners at second and third. Kimbrel's thrown 30 pitches so far, just 13 strikes, 17 balls. You jumping on the first pitcher, Kenny, or you making him throw a strike?
If it's right down the middle, go for it. Give it your best swing.
Swing and a miss.
That's what Ellsbury was thinking. Maybe it was a little bit up out of the zone.
Yeah, I don't think this was what you're looking for here. Yeah, that was ball one. Got to make it a strike. This guy throws too hard. Chasing pitches out of the zone, you're usually not going to catch up with him.
Abad joins Barnes in the bullpen. 1-1. Kimbrel having a hard time with the strike zone. He has loaded the bases with walks. Headley at third, Hicks at second, Gardner is at first. Two and one.
That was close to being the pitch that he swung at the first one.
Kimbrel all over the place. He's not going to get those borderline calls. And Ellsbury back in the driver's seat again, 2-1.
Teixeira on deck. The 2-1. And again, the Yankees are down to their final strike, 2-2 with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Ellsbury, a .313 hitter with the bases loaded. 26 hits, 5 doubles, 1 triple, has never had a grand slam. The 2-2. 3-2. So now that gives the Yankees an advantage because the runners will be going. Gardner takes off with the pitch, and anything down the line, in all likelihood, he would score. Kimbrel sets. Runners go. Foul back, they'll do it again. Right around this pitch count, John, you'd assume that a closer would start to feel some fatigue. 36 pitches.
Well, and also you mentioned that knee injury, has missed some time, has not had a lot of innings since he's come back.
Painted himself into a corner here.
Runners go again, and he walked in a run, and the bases remain loaded. An RBI for Ellsbury. Red Sox now lead 5-3, and John Farrell has seen quite enough. So he's going to call on Matt Barnes, and Matt Barnes will face Mark Teixeira batting from the left side. Yankees down by 2, bases loaded. The Red Sox have to lift their closer, Craig Kimbrell, who walked 4 to give the Yankees a run. So it's 5-3. Red Sox lead, 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Matt Barnes will come on in relief of Kimbrell, and he's going to face Mark Teixeira, and Teixeira has never faced the hard-throwing Barnes. 51 strikeouts in 51 innings. He also walks a bit too many, so 63 base runners in 51 innings, and they bring him in to get Teixeira.
Well, Kimbrell just didn't have it tonight. I mean, he was throwing as hard as ever, just couldn't throw the ball where he wanted to. 4 base on balls, drives in a run.
So big spot obviously for the Yankees with Gardner at second. A single should tie the game. There's some good arms in that Red Sox outfield though.
All the outfielders have moved up.
And that one's bounced up there. 1-0. Mark is 0 for 4 tonight. And the pitch. There's a strike. 98 miles an hour, 1-1. With the bases loaded in his career, 340 with 10 grand slams. This year, just 3 at-bats in these situations, 1 hit. 1-1. Bounced up there again, 2-1.
One of the keys in this situation, you don't panic. Stay calm. Don't chase the ball in the dirt.
Great play by Leone right there. And if you're Mark Teixeira, first pitch curveball was in the dirt. Barnes came back with a fastball. Next curveball in the dirt. Hunt the fastball right here.
2-1. And once again, the Yankees are down to their final strike.
There it was, Kenny. 99, but a good swing.
That was one of those ones you got to hit off the monster, out away from you. Ball moving away. Just didn't quite get there in time.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Strike 3, ball game over. Barnes comes on, strikes out Teixeira, and the Red Sox hold on through a sweaty ninth to win the first game of this 3-game series 5-3. So the Red Sox, who have been struggling of late, they pick up the victory on this pitch.
Right there, you got to assume Mark Teixeira may be thinking about that curveball, not happy with the call. Looked like a good pitch to me.
So Craig Kimbrell can breathe a sigh of relief. He's bailed out by Barnes. We'll go back to the studio. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and David Cohn set the table for the rest of the night. Guys?